So, the title says it all. I'm going to fulfill my promise that I made a few videos ago, I guess. And I'm going to make a battle report series of a tournament I'm going to. It's the first tournament starting in November. I have 4 to go to in the next month. So there's going to be a lot of videos coming out for that. I'm going to remember to bring my charger with me for my phone so I can take tons of pictures without having to worry. I did try and take 2 battle reports in one day, and my phone was about 4% battery by the end of it. So 3 battle reports in a day is not going to happen unless I bring my charger, which I will not forget. Everyone has to remind me. And by that I mean like the few people who watch my videos. But anyway, here's the list I'm going to bring to the 2,000 point Premier Tournament at none other than Games Workshop Highgate. Yes, the big, the bad Games Workshop. I'm going to a tournament at Games Workshop. Premier Tournament means that it has to be all painted. They've been doing a series of these tournaments through the entire year. I think the first one started at maybe 1,000 points, and I actually went to the second one, which was 1,500, but I never got pictures of it. I was kind of debating whether to do battle reports at that time. And now this one's 2,000. So it's kind of like an escalation league, I guess, for the regular attendees of the store. It's a free tournament. There's no prizes, but hey, it's a free 3 games in a day against all painted armies. That's pretty much why I go to tournaments anyway. So on to my list a little bit. I have my Arch-Lector as my general, which is pretty standard. He doesn't have much equipment at all. I plan on not getting him into combat as much as I can, or I guess avoid combat as much as I can. I have a level 4 Celestial Mage, which is pretty standard. I think in the 1,500 point list that I used in the original, in the previous tournament, I used my Wizard as a general just because I couldn't fit in the Arch-Lector, but now I don't have to worry about that. I have 2 Engineers, which are going to help my guns out with no equipment. I might have put light armor on one of them. You can look at my list, it's the first picture here. And I have a BSB, who's also quite mundane. Again, going to try and avoid combat as much as possible, preferring to shoot the piss out of things before that happens. And yeah, he just got heavy armor. So my level 4 actually has a Dispel Scroll as well. I'm just looking at the list a little more detailed here. The Arch-Lector has Enchanted Shield and Heavy Armor, so yeah, whatever, he's got a 3 up. Hopefully he won't need it. I have 34 Halberdiers with full command, and that's going to be where my characters are going to go. Yeah, like I keep saying, I'm just going to try to avoid combat as much as possible. In 2,000 points, I think it's easier to do that. There's not as much big nasty stuff coming at you. They have a detachment of 5 archers. That's just kind of chaff to get in the way. They're nice to shoot stuff like dogs and other chaff. You never know, they might kill a couple, cause a panic check. I have 2 groups of 5 knightly orders with a musician. Now, I like using these guys as kind of like pseudo chaff. You know, Empire doesn't have a core choice that they can spend on chaff, so the knights are the best thing to just round out the core, fill in that extra point slot where you don't want to spend more on your big block and you want to have something that runs around. The knights can actually be quite troublesome for a lot of armies. Wood elves, you know, I'd happily charge 5 knights into a unit of like 10 or 12 Glade Guard, whatever. Yeah, I stand and shoot, sure, but you're not going to kill them all. I'm still going to get my 2 up save, even with your strength 4. So that's one good matchup. Other good matchup is basically against any other chaff, these knights will kill them. Or if they can't kill them, if they like whiff their attack rolls, at least the enemy chaff won't be able to chew through their armor in most certain situations. They're also nice for getting things like Fanatics out of units because they're fast and they can get up there first, so the Fanatics won't eat through my Steam Tank or my Demigriffs. And they're good at flanking. Like, put them on the side, have them charge in on a flank. That's some extra combat res for you, and if you manage to live with all 5 of them, that's no ranks for them either. So, not bad there. They're useful. They're also good at fleeing because they got a musician. So, You know, they're not fast cav, they can't move after they rally, but they get that one turn of redirecting or fleeing that you need just so you can shoot the enemy some more with your Hellblasters. That's what all this list is all about, is the Hellblasters. I have 5 Demigryph Knights with a Musician, a Standard Bearer, and I had enough points to throw in a Gleaming Pennant. Now, I found this kind of useful because it seems like my Demigryphs have a knack of getting too far away from where my BSB is. So I found that the Gleaming Pennant is like a one-use only BSB, is basically what it is. My leadership won't be 9, that's true, but at least it's a reroll. I'd rather have a reroll 8 than a straight up 9, or a straight up 8, obviously. So I think that's a decent expenditure there. I didn't have enough for the Flaming Banner. Also, I'm not sure if I'd want to take it in this small of a point game, because if something is good against Flaming and has a 2-up ward save against it, that's like hard counter to my Demigryph Knights. I have 1 cannon, and this is for obvious reasons, shooting the big monsters. I couldn't fit in 2, unfortunately, but I do have 1 on my Steam Tank, which is coming up. I have 2 Hellblasters, and this is the real workhorse of this army. These 2 Hellblasters kill a lot of shit, hopefully, with Celestial Wizard giving off Harmonic Convergence on 1 or hopefully both. These things are really nasty, and the Master Engineers. You're at short range, in the best of situations, I guess, you're hitting on a 3, rerolling 1s. So you're just not looking for 2s, basically, that first time you roll. Not to mention rerolling an artillery die. Just really good. All around really good. It's expensive, yeah, but totally worth it, I think. There's some big debates on whether the Engineer Hellblaster combo is truly a good points investment, and yeah, it is. It kills everything. I'd say 3 out of 4 games it does really well. And then 1 game, your guns kind of fail you. But that's going to happen. Let's just hope those 3 games are the games I play in the tournament. And I don't have to end up getting that 4th game where the guns fail you. And yeah, the last thing is the Steam Tank. And I wanted to include the Steam Tank in 2,000 points because I think in the smaller point games, it's a lot harder to deal with. And I think 2,000 points is really the only spot where... Well, first of all, it's the only spot where you can take 2 Hellblasters and a Steam Tank, the lowest spot, I mean. And also 2,000 points is where I feel comfortable in shelling out 250 points for 1 model like that. Steam Tank, I'm not sure how I feel about them. I think 1 is really good, 1 is hard to deal with, 1 scares people, 2 I've tried recently, and I really don't like it. It's just so many points in 2 models, and if they start misfiring, that's a huge chunk of your army that is just sitting around doing shit all. So, I think 1 is really good. I think they start losing their potential if you start taking 2. Because that's 250 points worth of Demigryph Knights that you're losing. It's 250 points worth of Inner Circle Knights that you're losing. Some people like using Greatswords. I personally haven't really tried them out. I think I like the mounted fast stuff better, and the 1-up armor save. One last topic I want to talk about that I briefly touched on is the Celestial Wizard and the Lore of Heavens and how much it benefits my army and how good it is for this style of Empire army. I'm taking things that have 1-up saves and that shoot a lot. They throw a lot of dice. And anything that uses lots of dice likes rerolls. So if I get that Harmonic Convergence off in a bubble, and I manage my positioning carefully, I'm going to try and get both my Hellblasters and my Demigryphs, and maybe even a block of Knights and a Steam Tank, all in that bubble. That's the ideal situation. I want a 1-up rerollable armor save on all my 1+ armor save dudes, and not to mention rerolling 1s on to hit and wound for everything. That's a fucking good spell. People often don't try and stop it the first time around. They don't realize just how good it is with this kit. I just played a game today where my opponent, my Skaven opponent, I don't think he realized what was coming when I did the bubble harmonic convergence. He didn't try to stop it. He saved his dice to try and stop like a comet, or I think I actually put it into like a fireball with a level 1 wizard or something. But that turn was just so brutal. My demigriffs tanked a unit of the plague monks that had they had their original frenzy, and they had their 2 other frenzy attacks from Howling Warp Gale or whatever it is. I think that's the spell. And my demigriffs, I think I lost one, and the reason why I lost one was because 2 wounds were already taken off him previously by shooting from a Doom Wheel, I think. So I felt pretty good about that. There was an assassin in that unit and a plague priest too, so it was a pretty beefy unit. Yeah. If Empire players, if you haven't tried this kit already, I suggest trying it. So, one more thing I want to say. I know I said that was the last thing I wanted to touch on, but one more thing I want to say is, for anyone who used to watch Tom Richards' YouTube battle reports, he was a guy out of UK, he posted on Warseer a lot. I really loved the guy's videos. This is kind of who inspired me to do these kind of videos, because he took all his videos down, and I think it was because of haters, or people that are just giving him a hard time because they don't like his opinion on things. He was a very opinionated guy, but I liked what he said, I liked what he had to say. I think he was very intelligent, he was very into the game at times. Sometimes he'd be down on the game, but I just, if he at all watches these videos, which I doubt he does, or if anyone knows how to get into contact with him, just tell him that there are people who really appreciated what he did, and there were people who really liked watching his videos, and who learned a lot from him. So, if anyone could get in contact with him and tell him that he's got a fanboy who misses his stuff, and he should just at least put his videos back on. He doesn't have to make more. I think he's got a plethora of educational videos about Warhammer Fantasy that many people can gain a lot from. So, this channel is kind of like a tribute to him. And also all the other cool YouTube battle report dudes that I like Sustainable Center, Once Bitten, Malorian. Those guys are all quite good too. So yeah, hopefully the games will be ready by next Monday, possibly Tuesday. We'll see what my schedule's like, and hopefully see you there.